Welcome to a look at some of the cross-country combinations at this year's Mitsubishi Badminton Horse Trials.
So we're at the Swindon designer outlet Mound, and this combination has 4 elements. You've got a long gallop in front of the house and down the hill to this first log here. Not the biggest log in the world, but it's strategically placed so that it affects the rest of the combination. They've got to pop over this and then turn to the little chopped off log in the bottom of the dip there, and then up the slope to the hanging log on the top, and then down the other side to the 4th element, which is a very tight angled log and quite skinny, and it's all about control here. If they jump this first log too fast, they're not going to be ready for the turn. If you wanted to be particular, there's sort of 6 strides between these 2 elements at the beginning, but I think anything will happen. Then you've got 4 strides up the hill. If they jump the right hand side, they've got a very good chance of getting 3 strides down the hill to the final element. If they want more room, then I would think they'll jump more towards the middle of that 3rd element and then swing out right and come back to the final log. It's all a question of control and balance. The good ones will make nothing of this. So we're at the Gatehouse New Pond, and this first rail is the same as last year, but because of the oxer in the water that's at a bit of an angle, some of the riders will choose to come in on the right hand side, which means they almost have to angle the way in, which is in itself a little bit risky, or they can come in here in the middle and be straight with a slight curve in the water. That's purely a preference point for the riders. Oxer in water, open oxer, it's got the MIMS pins on it. Something new, something different. It's quite a decent fence, but it is just a run-of-the-mill oxer for horses. The fact that it's out of and into water shouldn't create that much of a problem, provided they jump in well. And then the direct line is to go left-handed and out over the right-handed corner of Silver Birch Corner the way out, which is very big angled corner and very open. There's going to be no trees there, so the riders have to be sure to get their correct line. There's a couple of alternatives. If riders get the oxer in the water wrong, they can turn round and jump this A part backwards as B. And if they don't want to jump the right-handed corner, they have a smaller oxer up to the right that's an alternative for them. But if they're taking these alternatives, they're not going to be winning any competition. Well, here we are. We've got to the famous Badminton Lake, the scene of all the thrills and spills over the years. And this time the approach is over the Mitsubishi motors, and then a sharp left-hand turn to the brush, big brush into the water, downhill approach. So they've got quite a long way in the water to decide which way they want to go, whether it's the direct route, which I'm standing beside, or the alternative over there, which gives them a little bit more distance once they jump out of the water, but is much more time consuming. What they do have to watch is this brush fence out of the water. They're coming up a step, so the landing is much higher than where they've taken off, and so the horses may find themselves a little bit flat-footed, and this 2 strides may suddenly become quite long, and the riders have really got to commit to this skinny brush on the way out, because it's quite wide and it's got a bullfinch, so there's a lot to look at, not forgetting the distractions of the thousands of people that'll be around here.